All right. Hi, Brian.
Hello.
We are playing Anno 1800. We are here. We are live. Feeling good. We're going to start a new game. We're going to run a little multiplayer, host a new game. Let's go.
Yep, just waiting for the invite.
How did I invite you last time? I don't remember. Was it through Ubisoft?
Ubisoft. Yeah.
Ubisoft. Okay, let me open up Ubisoft.
Because the one from Steam does not do anything.
Ubisoft Connect. Know what I mean? Peaches and cream. UB and soft. All right. Friend group away. Invite to game. Did you get that?
I did.
Ooh. How do you? Oh, there we go. Chew. Good work. All right. Okay. So let us do AI character. So we liked Bente, right? I feel like we liked Bente. That was the Southern girl. Like we did a lot of trade with her, so I'm gonna choose her.
Yeah.
Princess Queen always had a problem with us. But
yeah, she didn't like propaganda.
Right, but we did buy into her company.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna do that.
Well, I say do 2 1-stars and then 1 2-star.
She's a 1-star.
Okay.
And then do a what? A 2-star?
Yeah, 1 2-star.
Okay, so Beryl. So we could do. So we got 3 options. We got Beryl, who is a goodly soul once, but when she believed her meek shopkeeper husband would escape the debtor's prison, he didn't. Years later, it is now her that's running the street game and will help her many eyes and ears. She'll invite you in for tea, but don't get too cozy. That's a swan off under the floral tablecloth. Oh, a sawn off. I guess a shotgun. There's Arthur, self-proclaimed visionary, Franophile. I don't know what a Francophile is.
They love France.
A pursuer of architectural architectural perfection. Well, we don't like architects, so that's a no.
But we could fight him.
Breaking from the mirror only to schmooze with the most important critics. Gasprov has little patience for others or indeed any empathy at all. He himself has said every great city is ruined by its people. And then we've got one more 2-star. Carl is a repugnant industrialist fat cat, blaming his parents for allowing the once great name of von Malching to fade from view. He is ever desperate to rub up with the nobility, and of course to pile up gold. His philosophy is money equals reputation, so take some more. So we got the widowed debt woman, the visionary, self-proclaimed visionary architect, and then we have Carl, who is all about, he's essentially Mr. Krabs.
I say either Carl
yep.
the widow.
Ooh, okay.
Kind of like gossipy, and that could be fun.
Okay, all right. I was initially knee-jerk thinking Carl, so I'm gonna go with Carl just because we haven't played with him before. Let me change the game settings. So world size, we want it to be large, right? I feel like large is good. Island size, we want it to be mainly large.
Yes.
Island difficulty, we've got normal and hard. I'm going to go with normal. That seems right. Hello to the 2 viewers on the stream. It's great. Hold on. I've got open widget. All right. And then we've got fertility plenty. So we can do plenty, medium, and sparse. So I'm going to do plenty. Mineral deposits plenty. Map type archipelago.
Archipelago.
Whatever. We've got that. We got random. We've got atoll, island arc, corners, and snowflake.
Wait, what was the one before snowflake?
That one was corners. So I guess all the islands are on the corners.
Oh, interesting. Do you want to try that?
Sure, I don't mind. Income high, obviously. Inactive upkeep. It's currently on. No, it's off.
Keep it off.
Okay. Construction cost refunds full, half, none, or fee. I think half. I think if we're gonna demolish something, we shouldn't get a full refund, right?
Sure.
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I feel like, you know. Let's see. Trading post restock, common, normal, or rare. I'm gonna keep that common. I think it's good to have trading post restocks. City incidences, easy, medium, hard. Should do medium.
Easy.
Okay. No, that's fine. Easy.
Because remember, we had some issues with the rides and stuff.
Yes. Quest frequency, common. I like the common. Influence. Yeah. I'm gonna say high on influence because we want influence to be a thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's fair. Starting ships, we got flagship, trade fleet, and war fleet. I think the flagship that we've started out with in the past has been good.
Yeah.
Okay, starting harbor standard. We've got off, or we got full. So I'm going to do standard.
Yes.
Starting capital, large, medium, or small.
What is it currently?
It's default large.
Okay.
Okay. A revealed map, you wanted the reveal map, right?
Either way.
Okay, I mean,
since we know where the corners, just I think turn it off, leave it off.
Okay. And then victory conditions, obviously we want conditions. I guess at least one condition. It's either one or all. So investors, we have the option of one investor, 2,500 or 5,000.
Wait, so what does that mean? We have to get that many investors?
Yeah, it says win the game by attracting this amount of investors.
And what's the quantity?
1, 2,500, and 5,000. It's not like big jumps.
Yeah. Let's not do investor as a thing.
Okay, monuments, 1, 2, or 3. I don't know what a monument is. I guess the building.
I think there's special buildings where you have to build. I think maybe let's do population and wealth.
Okay. All right. So target population, I'm going to put that at max, 25,000. Because we reached the population pretty quickly last time. Target wealth. So this one, it's either 250,000, 500,000, or a milli.
Since we're max for population, let's do middle for.
Okay, 500,000. Target rev. We got 5,000, 10,000, and 25,000 for target rev.
Well, okay, so for our win condition, we're going to do all right. So why don't we just only have
Oh,
2 win conditions?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Because I think if we make it 1, then it's like
super easy.
Too short.
Yeah.
Possibly too short,
Totally. Okay. All right. All right, everybody. All right. Everybody calm down. Calm down. We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. You have the ready up. All right, guys. So this recording is going to be primarily the setup of our new base. So like the new island, we're going to set it up. We're going to get it functional, get a starting population, start doing a little bit of, what is that called? Mining and stuff. Just get stuff going. So if you want to see more of this particular, what am I thinking? Like the session, yeah, more content of Anno 1800 and see where we go with it. Hit the like, comment that below, and don't forget to subscribe, please. Thank you. All right, we're going to get into it. Start game. Let's go. For anybody currently watching, very much appreciated. I see there's 2 people watching. So welcome, welcome, and double welcome. If you guys don't know me, I'm Chris. This is my husband, Brian. We are YouTubers, very new to YouTube. And we usually play with a couple of other people, Oliver and James. They don't play these style of games, so it's just me and Brian. But check out our other content. It's pretty fun. We play Duck Game, we play Brawl, we play Fortnite, and a few others. Yesterday we played Beam with Oliver, so if you don't know what Beam is, BeamNG, it's a car simulator game, so check it out. Anyways, we'll get into it. All right, so I don't even remember. How do we turn the camera again? Oh, yep. Z and X. Okay.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm going to change some of my control.
Yeah. So first things first, I know we need a few things. So we need a marketplace and we need some farmer's residence. So while Brian is changing up some controls, I'm just going to quickly get a couple of things down that will get us what we want.
Oh, you left the map to be revealed.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, that's fine.
So now that we have the marketplace, guys, that opens it up so that we can actually start building farmer residences. Because if we didn't have that marketplace, people would be very upset. And that marketplace actually costs us planks. So 10 planks. And we don't have a lumber yard or a lumberjack house yet. So it's important to put down this marketplace right now.
Snap.
What?
We don't have coal.
At all?
Nope.
That's a fucking problem. Okay. So we just dropped 4 houses, 4 residences, and that marketplace. So now we can focus on the lumberjack. So if you guys notice where it says that 100% there, that means that 100% of the trees around will give us what we need and will be fully efficient there. If we were to have put that like over here, do you see how that number goes down to like 91? That means that we're only 91% efficient. We want full efficiency, so we're going to go ahead and put that right over here. And it's very close to our houses that it makes sense. We're going to throw a road in here just like that so that people can get to it. Now we're going to move around. And I'm going to throw a few more farmer residences around just so that way we've got a few more farmers to work with here. And farmers are going to be very important down the road because there are different types of residences, and you'll learn more about that in a minute. Now that we have the lumberjack, hut down, we can focus on a sawmill. Sawmills don't have to be close to the lumberjack. That actually could be over near the town, which sometimes is good, sometimes it's not. In this case, we're going to keep it near the town. That way, it's easier for everybody. I forgot oops. Do you remember how to like turn buildings? Brian?
Is it? No, I don't remember.
Oh.
I don't think it matters though, because I think as long as it touches the road, like.
No, I know, but in terms of aesthetics, like sometimes I like doing that.
Let me look at the option.
Okay, so another thing, guys. So if you see when I click on this lumberjack hut, if you see this green road, all this green road, that means that the lumberjack can go over to this trading post and store the lumber that they grab. The other thing, if you notice, you see this yellow line that comes up. That means that they're able to reach where their destination needs to go. So as they're putting stuff here in the sawmill, they're also going to put store wood or lumber in this particular trading post. As time goes on, we're going to also be able to plop down some small warehouses, and we'll see that down the road, but that's kind of the beginning stages of this particular town. As Brian mentioned, there's no coal, so he's already scouted the whole island. We've got some clay deposits, which will come later with bricks. We've got oil springs, which is really good. And
Iron.
We've got copper. Yes, we have iron. More clay. Again, clay is good, but coal is a very big thing. We got more copper, more iron. Coal is big because that helps us build out infrastructure for more industrialization. So you'll find out more later as we continue playing.
So to rotate, you press either period or comma.
Oh, terrific. Thank you. So as you guys notice, a few more things popped up. So we can now create a fishery. And then soon we'll unlock the schnapps as well as the work clothes. So Brian has just plopped down a fishery, which is really great. That's going to help us get fish for our marketplace and feed our lovely farmers. I'm going to go ahead and build out a few more residences. So I will be right back.
I'm going to send a ship out to like discover.
Sure. All right, guys, one other thing. So as I'm building out more of the farmer huts, as you can see, this did not plop. All of these did, this didn't. And part of the reason why that didn't is because we don't have the lumber to support it. So if we're looking at these farmer residences, it takes 2 planks, as you can see. It takes 2 planks under the construction costs in order to build. We didn't have that because Brian did put down this fishery, which is great. But that means that this needs to continue to produce, chop down trees, and this needs to continue to produce planks. So when you have enough planks, you can easily click the unbuilt resident and actually build the blueprint. So we'll do that. And then as you can see, they're missing roads. So we're going to go ahead and drop a road in. Boom and boom. There you go. So we're expanding. It's great. We need to create more lumber. And the reason why I know that is because we only have 3 planks and 0 actual wood being stored. So that means we're not producing enough in order to create. And you'll know a little more of that if you click this. So here it'll tell you it takes 15 seconds to actually process, in other words, chop down a tree and have a piece of lumber. Here, for the sawmill takes 15 seconds to actually create a plank. That being said, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So you want to make sure if you can build enough lumberjack huts in order to support the wood production. Planks is going to be very critical to the success of your city. Whoa, Colin Spencer is in chat. He said lovely. You remember Colin, right, Brian?
Yeah.
He's in chat.
Oh, nice. So the island literally right next across from us has 4 coal deposits.
Oh, nice. That's perfect.
Yeah. And
All
then
right.
I just discovered another small island.
Nice. All right, guys. So one other thing. So as you can see, I dropped another lumberjack hut down here. That green area that we were just talking about, it goes all the way up to here, but just barely. So that tells you, and we also reached village. So we now have schnapps, clothing, and wool. This green line with that yellow, the green road with the yellow line, that's important because if you cannot reach this particular storage facility, you then have to drop a warehouse. So it's important to always pay attention to that. There was a few times in some of the last rounds where I didn't pay attention to that and it kind of screwed us over. So always pay attention to that. The other thing that I do, keep in mind, so warehouses share storage. So whatever you're putting in one warehouse will be easily accessible in another warehouse, which is really cool because I can just drop this warehouse right next to this lumberjack hut. In fact, I just might as soon as we get the planks, which we do now. And that's going to help us minimize the storage location. And in fact, I probably put this in the wrong spot. How do I move items again?
Relocate.
Yeah, there we go. So here we're going to move that over here so that it's not in the area in the way of this lumberjack. So again, remember that 100% mark. If I threw that right there, it'll drop that 100% because we're taking up the space of cutting down trees and planting new trees. So pretty important. Colin, how's your day going so far?
So it's kind of early, but I might claim this big island across from us.
Sure.
Just for the coal, like for future. Like
sure.
Claim it and then not do anything with it. For now.
I think that's a great idea.
Hello.
Hello.
So you guys are playing Anno 1880.
Yes, we are. In the middle of a recording too. Is there anything important?
No, my bad. I didn't know.
That's okay.
Just letting you know you're on recording.
Yeah. So guys, I know I mentioned that we usually play with Oliver and James. This is James who's on. He doesn't really play Anno 1800, but again, definitely a fun game to play if you guys are interested in kind of like a strategy builder game. We also have pirates. We've got other people that we can trade with. Quite a bit of stuff that we can do. So as you can see, missing goods. So that means that we don't have enough lumber production. Okay. And part of that is because it might be sitting here. We've got 8 lumber in our storage, and that was just delivered to our sawmill. So they can now work. And because it's very close, it'll be very efficient for them to go to one place, from one place to another. So a couple of things to remember as you're playing the game. And as we're continuing to develop. Ideally, we would want this lumber area to be further away from where our residence is, and we'll do that in a little bit of time. Again, part of that is the beautification of our city and our new town. We want it to be very nice looking, and part of that is moving the industrial area kind of away from it.
So we do have knops and clothing.
Yes. So are we producing enough fish, Brian, by chance?
I think so. So the market's 100%, and then we have it in the dock storage.
Awesome. So
I was gonna suggest, it looks like kind of in the area near your new warehouse, that's a lot more wooded. So it might make more sense to move your 2 lumberjack huts like in that area-ish.
Yeah.
And then maybe we could reuse this area where the current lumberjack huts are to be like beet farms or potato farms.
Totally. We could do that. There's a road that I'm gonna readjust next to our port because
Okay.
it was a little kind of off. What's up?
Should I buy or should I get Anno 1880 or B?
Huh?
Should I get Anno, the game you guys are playing, or B?
Whatever game you want to play, whatever interests you. Brian, I'm plopping a few more residences, and then I'm going to move some of the lumber stuff, like you mentioned. And I already have a warehouse, so I'm going to move that warehouse closer to where the lumber is. So, guys, we're going to build out a road over to where, you know, the lumber should be. The wooded area right over here to the left is a great place that Brian suggested. So you guys always want to kind of keep an eye for areas that would better suit certain things. But you also want to be mindful that you may want to expand your residential area to go into that wooded area. So for now, just for the sake of moving it and getting away from our residence to expand, we're going to move this over. So bear with me here. Let's do a quick edit and you'll see what we did.
Okay, I claimed the other island.
Awesome.
And I think once we get a healthy supply of planks, I'll just send the planks over, and then I can kind of set up shop there.
Sure, that's perfect.
I wish since it's multiplayer, I wish we could like mark stuff for each other so it's easier to figure out like what we're talking about, you know?
Yeah.
Ooh, people are not happy.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. It's just they're not happy. I can put a hub down.
Oh.
Should I?
A pub? Sure, yeah. Pubs are good for morale. Both in real life and in the game.
Yeah, that's what I want to put down. Yes, another neutral again.
Good.
I think it might be because there's maybe so many of them, but not many jobs. Oh yeah, they want clothes.
All right, guys. So we're back, and we moved a lot of the lumber away from the residences. I did drop another lumber yard over here, but I may reconsider its location and move it more up this way. We'll see how we expand and, you know, how often how much land we need in order to move this. So, let's take a look at how. Okay. So one of the things that we're getting very close to is the clay deposits. So as we talked about, clay deposits would be really good to have, but obviously, you know, right now we're not there yet. So one of the things that we usually work on is like clothing. Brian, have you done anything with clothing yet?
No, because you're moving stuff, I didn't want to possibly build where you might be
Okay.
moving stuff. I was thinking, like the clay deposit, the mine isn't that big, so maybe use the area around it since it's kind of clear for
like sheep,
either potato or sheep.
Potato. Yeah. I think sheep would be good around that area. I'm gonna.
Yeah, clothing is more important.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and expand to that area. Do you want to expand our pop? That way, we can start hitting other milestones. Okay. So guys, we're going to, now that we've kind of moved that lumber area, we're going to go ahead and expand our residential. Brian's going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on building out a sheep farm because we need a sheep farm in order to create actual clothes, and our residents really want clothes. So that is the next thing that we're going to focus on. So for that, I'm going to use the existing kind of pathways that we've got and just move up. And I'm going to move up very close to this clay deposit because, again, we're going to need that later in the gameplay. And because we're going to be out in this area, we're going to focus our sheep farms kind of in this area as well. Obviously, we're going to need a small warehouse. We've got 13 lumber, so we can afford it. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that warehouse here. Oh, I just used a lot of the lumber, but that's okay. Once we get it back, it'll be easy to go ahead and build this. And for the sake of expansion, I've reconsidered this lumber yard, and I'm actually going to move it. So let's go ahead and move this road out a bit more and line it up with that one. And we're going to go ahead and connect all of this stuff together. And that way we can then relocate this one and drop it over here. So again, you can see it was 100. It's still close enough. Still close enough to actually get into the storage as well as, get access to the sawmill. So it's, again, we should have an overflow of lumber because there's obviously 3 lumber yards and only 2 sawmills. We talked about that 1-to-1 ratio. So it is important to kind of consider that as you continue to expand.
Warehouse. I built your warehouse.
Oh, I appreciate that. Okay, guys. So for the sheep farms are very, you can actually make them 100% efficient. You can put them very close to each other. And that way you can really maximize your space. So we're going to go ahead and drop the first one here. We're going to drop it right here. And I like dropping it to where I can place a road if I need to. So just my own thing. You can do whatever you want. And then again, here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay. And that's all of them. It's a 3-to-3. So right here, that's a little square. I can go ahead and copy this right here. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go ahead and paste another one and paste another one. So right here, again, talk about efficiency. You've got them back to back, side to side. We're good. And I'm going to go ahead and drop a few more. So let's go ahead and copy that again. Thanks to Brian. He reminded me how to move the items around. So we're going to do that, and then that. So again, we're very close to the warehouse, which is really good. Easy delivery here. We're very close to a clay deposit, which will come in handy down the road. And then obviously the other thing that we want to look at is our money situation. So currently we're at 66,300 and we seem to be decreasing. So right now we want to make sure that we can get more farmers so that way our tax could go up. So that's something that Brian is working on now and continues to work on.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for lumber because each clothing factory takes 50 workers. So we could build 2 and we would be okay.
Awesome.
But we would need to build more houses.
Okay.
To, support more factories.
Yeah. So guys, I'm going to drop another lumber yard over here. And as you can see, they do not have access to this this storage facility. So that can be a little bit of an issue. I'm going to reconsider placing that, and I might even move it way over here. So bear with me. Okay, if I throw that there and I place a road to it, we now have access. So again, placement is very important, very critical. So always kind of consider that as you're placing things. The other thing is I will throw a road to connect these two because I suspect that down the road, we'll definitely want to build more in this area. And then again, one of the things that I personally like to do is up here. So obviously we're not making steel beams, so I don't need that here. But if you click this, you can select what you want to see at all times. So I'm going to choose wood. I've already got timber there. So, obviously wood is important to know what we're doing. I'm also going to choose wool. Oops, excuse me. I'm also going to choose wool as well as clothing. Again, these are some things that we're going to be making pretty soon. So we're already kind of laying down the groundwork for the wool by having the sheep farms. So it's important to just kind of keep an eye on how things are progressing. We can go in and see how much wool is required. So as you can see here, for every wool, it takes 30 seconds to make clothes. And it takes 30 seconds to make wool. So in this scenario, again, 1-to-1 ratio, similar to the lumber, we're going to go ahead and place a clothing factory. And what we're going to do is we're going to go right off of here. We're going to come down. Okay. And then we're going to go this way and connect that. I'm going to drop 1, 2, 3, and 4 clothing worker here. We've got 20 wool, and soon we're going to be able to use all 20 of those, one in each, in order to continue our expansion here.
I'm back.
Hello. Okay, so as you can see right here, there's a little hammer and wrench on top of these buildings and as well as over our farm. That means we don't have enough workers. We need more farmers in order to continue to work on this. And you can also see right here this negative number, negative 46. That means we have 45 jobs open and ready for employment. So as Brian continues to expand our residential area, we could easily start filling those jobs, through that expansion. So again, just something to consider down the road as you are playing the game. Now, one of the things, as you guys can see, we got 35 wood, only 7 timber. So that means we are in low production of timber. Part of that is insufficient workers. Part of it is obviously we need more sawmills. So we're going to go ahead and drop some of those down. And in fact, I'm going to relocate this and change the position of these sawmills. So you'll see that there and there. So we've got, again, how many timber huts? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I've got 4 sawmills, 4 lumber mills, again, 1-to-1 ratio. We should start increasing the production of our timber. So that should help Brian with expansion. Because again, each one of these huts require 2 timber planks. So we obviously need to increase production and do better. Okay. In terms of clothing, we've got 1 piece of clothing. And that's important because here in each one of these huts, these farmer huts, it shows you here, they want clothes, they want fish, and they want a market. So we've got 2 of the 3 fulfilled, but we obviously need clothing. Okay. So again, just something to consider as you continue to play the game. The only thing we have open and enabled right now are farmers. You'll see workers that come up. You'll see engineers, and then you'll see additional types of people, residences that come up. So right now we're still in the red part of that is because our maintenance costs are $520. We're only generating about $300 in tax. So as we continue to expand, we'll be able to increase that number. Ideally, we would want it to be flat, or we would want to have a little bit more in terms of tax and income, just to support continued expansion. We're going to go ahead and pause here. We're going to go ahead and move, continue to expand, and we'll see you guys in a little while. Okay, Brian, let's focus on that.
I did a resident quest.
Thank you. I'm going to add more lumber because I feel like we're lacking a little bit, and that's on me.
Yeah, I've also stored like 20 planks on the ship.
Oh, good.
So that
Okay.
when I send it over, I could start building.
Cool. That's awesome. Oh, hey, James. Thanks for being in on the stream, my guy. Appreciate you watching.
Fish, I think we're still good.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Just need one
Placing.
more. Oh. Stripper. I'm gonna place a warehouse because I need I need a couple timber woods. There we go.
Okay, there's 11, so
Yeah. I just placed it.
You know, I saw the fire station and I was like, should we build one? And I was like,
I thought of it as well. I just
we usually don't encounter anything.
agreed.
And
Wishful thinking.
I know.
Call it the California way, I guess. Okay.
What if we just deleted the houses that were on fire?
That
and
would
and build them.
that's toxic, and I don't appreciate that.
Wow, okay. Burn down.
Oh, thanks, James. I appreciate you liking the stream, my guy. That's awesome. Colin, what do you think of the game? If you're still in chat. James, that's a good question. He asked, what other games do you have in mind today? I'm not sure. I really wanted to get this in because we haven't played Anno in a very long time, and I thought it would be a good idea to just have this as like a good sesh, but yeah, well, not sure.
Do you have anything you want to play, James?
Ooh, good question. Good question, Brian. James, what do you have in mind to play? He said yay, like Kanye. Not gonna lie, it looks cool. It does look cool. And you know what? The gameplay is super fun, especially when you get warships and you're going to fight pirates and stuff. Ooh, okay. And we're back, guys. So here we are. We have the newspaper, believe it or not, that we can publish. So we're going to take a look and see what particular news is in our paper. All right. So obviously, guys, we have... Okay, this guy needs to shut up because he's just talking a lot. Anyways, all right, guys. So few things. So one, we can change the narrative here, guys. So we can literally make it whatever we want, really. So right now, obviously, new company takes roots. Yes, we're the new company. Yes, we're a company. Yes, we form land. Yes, we have stock, etc. Bankruptcy. Shut up, my guy. Jesus, this guy talks so much. Anyways, bankruptcy. We obviously don't want people to know that we're going bankrupt, right? I mean, what new country or business wants their people to know that you're going bankrupt? Then fire erupts because we didn't have a fire station. That's on us. Not going to lie. It is what it is. But we're going to go ahead and edit this because we don't want bankruptcy on the mind. Okay. We rather, and again, we're going to create propaganda here. And for those of you that don't know what propaganda is, Brian, define propaganda. Go.
I would say it's bias angle, potentially false to distract people.
That is a very good way to explain that. It is a distraction. Propaganda is all around you. So we are going to do this. We're going to change the narrative and say, oh my God, spend, spend, spend. Why say we're bankrupt when you can spend all this money, you know? Now, the fire erupting, the fire's obviously been overcome because it says right there, fire overcome. So I don't care that it says fire erupts. Everywhere has fire, so I'm okay. We're going to go ahead and publish this, okay? You're going to see some of the people that we are in competition with are going to be like, hey, we don't like that. One of them is the princess. So let's publish and see what happens. All right. So the next thing that we're going to focus on. So as you guys can see, the timber's already up. The wood is doing very well. While we were kind of transitioning here, I added 3 more lumber huts. I also added 3 more sawmills and a storage up near the sheep farm. So we still have the 3 down here. The 4 down here, but now we have an additional 3 and an additional 3 sawmills. So, our production levels will be much higher for our expansion. In terms of dollar size, we're still negative about 260. That is up from negative 280. So there's a plus. And it continues to drop as time goes on. One of the biggest numbers that you're going to notice here, so the plus 205, that means we have 205 additional workers that can easily be put into the marketplace. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and build out a few more things. Part of that is the lumber. So I'm going to go ahead and build a few more lumber yards. That way we can balance this out a little more. Okay. And then I'll also drop another sawmill. So again, a 1-to-1 ratio, okay? So right here, we had this pop-up that said too many transporters, okay? Now, if you can see here, to unlock an upgrade for the warehouse, we need workers. We only have farmers right now. So as we continue to progress the game, we will get more workers. Another beauty of this is we don't have to worry about the location of things because workers will just naturally, or farmers will just naturally go there. The citizens tend to not necessarily care where their house is in compared to where their job is, unlike other places. So, other games. So keep that in mind again as you continue to play, okay? So the next thing that you see is we do have a ship that Brian just set off. He went over to our new island, and you're going to see that over in the map view. So let's go ahead and look at, oops. So we're going to look at the map over here. So this over here is our new island, okay? So while Brian's expanding this island over here, I'm going to continue expansion on the other island. And he got this island because there's coal deposits, which is what we need. So we got coal, copper, more limestone, and iron. I still don't know what we use limestone for.
I think that's for, like, we haven't unlocked it. Because it's probably engineers.
Got it. And this is our ship. So I'm going to take this ship and I'm going to take the timber and put it into storage. And then I'm going to send Brian more timber. So let me check and
Hold
see.
on. Don't take the ship yet. Oh, don't forget we could name our islands.
Ooh. Guys, if you have a specific name that you want our islands to be, throw it in the comments and we will pick one at random. Remember, we've got 2 islands that we can name, so drop what you'd like there to be and we will make sure to change that. Brian, I'm going to bring you more timber. Is that okay? Or are you good?
I think I'm good because I'm gonna build some residence and then I'm gonna start building my lumberjack hut and stuff.
All right. Okay, so guys, we've reached the limit for our timber. So we are maxed on timber. So you know what that means? That means we can start selling timber. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and hit a sell. And we're gonna say I only need to maintain 50 planks. Okay, anything above that, set minimum to 50. Anything above that, it's going to sell off and we're going to make money off of it. That's what we want. Okay. So when you see that red arrow, as well as that red line right there, that means that we're going to sell anything above what we've set. Okay. So wool, again, currently doing very well. Clothing doing very well. So we're doing pretty good. Next thing we're going to focus on, guys, is our schnapps production, because we're not producing any at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and build out a potato farm. And we're going to do that kind of in this area where there's a lot of land that doesn't involve timber. So again, let's build out that road. Oops. Okay. There we go. And then let's take a look at one of the potato farms because we want to see exactly how big these potato farms need to be. Okay. So let's drop one of them right over here. And then we're going to go ahead and pick the potato field and we're going to go ahead and build that out. So again, let's take a look here. So you see this area, this grayed out area right here. That means we're affecting our timber. Excuse me, our, oh God, what is that called?
Wood.
Our, stupid lumberjack hut. So the farm, we want to go ahead and build out this so that it doesn't necessarily affect it. So as you can see, right here is about where we want it. So let's go ahead and drop that. That's going to create it. And we're going to go ahead and copy all of this. And that way we can paste it over here, and over here. So we've got 4. The next thing that they need access to, obviously, is the warehouse. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here. Where's the nearest warehouse? So they can actually access this warehouse, which is convenient. So let's leave that the way it is. This cannot. So that's already a problem. Rather than setting up a warehouse independent just for these last 3, we're going to just throw a warehouse for all 4 of them. And we're going to put that right over here. Again, leaving space right over here for a road if we need it. Now, while we have that, let's take a look. How long does it take to make a potato? Here, it says it takes 30 seconds to process potatoes, which is really great. Totally not realistic, but I'm okay with that. Here, it takes 30 seconds to make schnapps. So, with that said, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. We just talked about that. So we're going to go ahead and drop a few schnapp production sites here. And again, here, I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to angle it and change it. So that way it takes the least amount of space in order to add these, okay? All right, so we just met Bente. She's really cool. She's really nice. It's definitely somebody that we want to work with in the future. So keep in mind, like, we want to have a lot of connections with these people because ultimately they're going to be the ones that we're trading with. And it's important to be able to trade with some of these folks because they may have things that we don't. So again, something to look at. So we are down 27 farmers. So we're going to have to build a few farmer huts. We've got timbers. So that expansion is easily affordable, and we have cash. Really the only thing we need is timbers. So we're going to go ahead and drop those in. And I'm going to put it up to here. We're going to skip a line and go up to here. And we're pretty much good with that. So let's go ahead and drop a road in. Let's go ahead and drop a road in over here. That already has a road. So one of the negative or down the unfortunate things is this road. There's a little bit of a gap here, and I personally hate when there's gaps. So I'm going to fill this road in right here, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and take the demolisher, and I'm going to get rid of these roads because I really don't like them there. And in fact, I'm going to get rid of this road right here, and I'm going to keep it very tight and go just like that. Okay. All right. So we did an expansion. We now have an equal amount of labor or of residents to jobs. So that's terrific. That's what you kind of want. A lot of full output storage filled. So that's something to consider. Again, we're going to go over down here and we're going to say, you know what? We've got plenty of clothes. So let's go ahead and sell some of those clothes. Okay. We're going to set that down to 50, just like everything else. And we're going to say the minimum stock should also be 50. That way, as time goes on, we're going to go ahead and sell this stuff. What it does is it puts a message out to all of the other NPCs, the non-participating folks, and what is that NPC again?
Non-playable character.
There you go. The non-playing player character. And they're going to send ships over to actually buy stuff from us. So it's very, very helpful. So as you can see, we've got schnapps in production, so that's great. And then we have potato in production. Currently, let's take a look here. That farm's at 100% efficiency. That's at 100% efficiency, and so is that. So we've got 4 farms at 100% efficiency. And what I'm going to do, actually, is we're going to copy this, and I'm going to create a few more farms that we can then use to create more potato. Believe it or not. Brian, how's the new island going?
Good.
Tell us about it.
I'm setting up factories as well.
Nice. If there's anything, we're producing a lot of stuff. So rather than duplicating, is there stuff that I can send you?
Not right now, because I basically got this island to send you coal, so I'm kind of gonna set it up to be somewhat self-sufficient.
Got it. Okay. All right, guys. So now we are down 80 farmers. So you can see that this balance is kind of like a teeter-totter situation. Like 1 second we're good, the next second, we're in shambles and need to, find more residences, etc., etc. So, just kind of keep an eye on things like that because we don't want to run into a situation where we're expanding our industry a little too fast and not supporting it with farmers, okay, or workers or engineers or anything else that we've got for that matter. Brian, is there anything that you think our viewers should pay attention to as they play?
I think you've covered it.
Cool. So again, here just dropped more farmer huts. We're down 32 workers. That should increase over or decrease over time. I'll drop a few more just because I have the resources to do it. Let's see here. Again, you want to leave a little space for a road to go in And that's important, especially when you get to the mountainside, because if you happen to not plan any of that out, you could run into the mountain and not be able to place a road. So all that money you spent on the huts, essentially you'll lose part of it if you're playing with that game style or playing with that game function. So right now, you know, it's okay. I've kind of planned for that, but like here, obviously you can't put a farmer hut. Here you obviously can't put a farmer hut. So I put one there just to maximize efficiency in the location. So again, we're 50 farmers plus and growing. So that's a good sign. So one of the next things that you can look at is obviously we're doing very well on this island. We are only down $90 in terms of revenue, and that may go up, may go towards the green as time goes on. But some of this area you could actually start to upgrade, and you're going to see that by clicking the hut, and you'll see this upgrade right here. The upgrade will, once you upgrade, you will get workers, and workers will unlock new parts of the menu bar here at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and start that upgrade now. And in fact, I'm going to do it so that I can select kind of a whole area just like that. Oops.
Ooh. Bente Jorgensen claimed the island next.
Ooh.
So we need to be very chummy with her, otherwise we're open to attack.
Got it.
Easily.
Brian, do you remember what it was to copy all of the like houses in that area?
I think you can select everything and then press U.
How do I select everything though? I forget.
I think you click and drag.
Oh, is
I
it?
don't know.
Definitely not that. Oh yeah, you're right. Press U and then click and drag.
Oh.
All right, guys. So sorry about that. I just upgraded. So now we have a new tab down here that's called workers. So now we're going to have to look at each one of these buildings and see what they need. So not only do they want market, they want fish, they want clothes, and they want sausages. So sausages are going to require a few things, one of which is bricks. And part of that is because, again, you've got the slaughterhouse. The slaughterhouse, if you look at it, requires planks, 500 cash, and bricks. So before we can get to giving them what they want, we have to create a brick production. And that requires the clay that we talked about, as well as a brick factory. So here you can see that clay takes about 30 seconds to create, where brick takes a minute. So that 1-to-1 ratio is now changing kind of right in front of us. So it's now a 2-to-1 ratio. So for every clay that we obtain, it takes twice as long to make one brick. So in other words, we really want to enhance as much of that production as we can. So let's go over to our clay deposit, and we're going to go ahead and drop a clay pit. So these clay pits require workers. Unlike these that require farmers, the clay pit requires the workers, and that's part of this worker population that we have here. Okay. So keep that in mind as you continue to play the game. So another thing here in this little bar up here, the info bar, you're going to want to look and see how much brick you're producing. So let's go ahead and change this last one to clay. And in fact, we can actually change the lumber because we know that we're producing more than enough wood to sustain ourselves. So we're going to change that from wood, the raw material, and we're going to actually change it to schnapps because that's more important. We no longer need to know the production of wool because we're producing more than enough. So I'm going to change that to clothing. And then finally, we're going to switch this over to the new item, which is clay and bricks. Okay. Again, the clay deposit's right next to a storage facility. So that's terrific. Makes life easy for everybody. I'm going to go ahead and throw down a brick factory. Again, leaving enough space for a road. And that's going to take the clay and create bricks. Again, still super close. So that's going to make life easy for everybody involved. Let's take a look and try to find another clay deposit because it is important for us to have enough clay to create bricks. But before we do that, again, highlight on the worker shortage. There's minus 15 workers that we're short. So we're going to have to upgrade a few more of these houses. And as we upgrade, I want you guys to keep an eye on things because here we have 239 plus farmers, but that's going to start to go down as we upgrade homes to be worker homes. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So we've created essentially a little community of homes and such. So as we did that, and congratulations on the upgrade. As we did that, our farmers went from 240 down to 140. So we lost 100 farmers, but that's okay. Because in exchange, we went from negative 15 workers to plus 85 workers. So that means we have more jobs that we can essentially give our workers. And that's going to come handy when we drop another clay pit here in the clay deposit. So let's go ahead and drop that now. Let's take another road and place that over here. So again, there's no AoE for this area of effect. Not like our lumber mills that have an area of effect here. So that means we can place essentially our brick factory right next to it. Okay. And we're going to actually do that for efficiency's sake. They also do not have access to a warehouse. So we're going to hold off and see if we really need a warehouse considering they've got the brick factory right adjacent to it. Actually, the brick facility really does need access to a warehouse. So let's go and drop a warehouse just because we have the resources to do it. So let's do it. So here, as we're creating bricks, they're going to take it right over here to the storage facility, the warehouse, and that is going to put it at every one of our locations. So as we continue to build this out, we're going to be able to put our pig farm and our slaughterhouse relatively close to a warehouse where they can then get the bricks that they need to create that slaughterhouse and continue to do what they need to do. Okay. So the other thing, now that we've done that, we're in the green now. So we're plus $56 and growing. So that's great. But let's look for one more clay deposit. And look, there's one up here. So I think it'd be really great for us to have more clay deposits in order to create more bricks. The more clay deposits that we get, the faster it'll be to actually create those bricks and kind of progress in the game. And a few other things that we have access to, such as bread. We've got a trade union. We've got a church. We can make sales, and we can add to our small harbor. Which is all really cool. So let's focus again on that clay. So let's zoom on in here and let's actually look to see where the nearest road is. Okay. So nearest road is over here. Let's actually bring that road out. Okay. And And we could see here that it gets pretty close to that clay deposit. So that's perfect. Now that we've dropped that there, we can actually drop a warehouse. Okay. And that warehouse will serve as a way for us to get clay into the warehouse for our brick facility, okay? We're going to go ahead and drop a brick facility right next to it as well and expand that road so that they can get to it. And now that's good. But the problem that we're facing now is we now have another worker shortage, okay? So with there being another worker shortage, we're going to expand our community once again in order to get more farmers and in order to get more workers. So let's do that now. And if you guys notice, I'm not actually building them close to the harbor because we're going to use this area to expand our harbor to create different things such as a sailing shipyard, a depot, a harbor master office, as well as some mounted guns once we get the weaponry to do that. So we'll get to that in a minute. But for now, let's continue to work on getting those farmers in their homes. How's it going, Brian?
Going well.
That's good. How's our new world, our new little island?
Good. I'm building clothing factories.
Awesome.
Oh, Bente just gave us 2,400.
Whoa! Money, 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 money. Money. All right, guys. So if you want us to play any other kind of game similar to this, drop a comment below. It'd be really cool to get some recommendations and such. So just let us know. These kind of games are super fun. One game that I'm going to play when it comes out is City Skylines 2. City Skylines is one of my favorite games of all time, practically. So when that comes out, I will be playing that, and we'll hit milestones and have little video projects of that as well. So, you know, something to consider down the road. All right, guys. So we've got 213 workers and growing. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade another one of these neighborhoods. So let's take a look here. Boom. And we're going to do one more little neighborhood. So that brings us up to plus 55 workers and plus 18 farmers. So that's terrific. That means that we have enough to sustain our new clay deposit, clay pit, as well as the brick factory. All right, so as we talked about, we are starting to run up to the limit for our log production. But considering we just did a huge expansion, I was able to use quite a bit of the timber that we had. So that's going to start to fill back up before we actually start selling timber again. So again, something to consider as we progress. Another newspaper for the week here. Usually it's every month or so that we release a newspaper. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this one. So for the most part, all good things, guys. This is awesome. First workers clock in. That's +5 happiness. Amazing. Happiness and light. So we are looking bright for the future. That brings our potential rebellion down by 50%. Rebellions are bad because they burn down the city. They cause riots. It's huge. It's a thing. It causes us to have police officers. And we really don't want to get to that level of having issues like that. So always good to reduce that rebellious percentage as much as we can. Another thing is going up. So investors are looking at us. They're having, they are liking what we're doing. It doesn't necessarily make any difference right now. I mean, it's a very kind of flat line for us. However, it's really good that we don't have any sort of negativity on this paper, and we don't have to use propaganda, which is really cool. So we're going to go ahead and publish that. So as you guys can see, the money situation is great. We are plus 600 cash. Our balance is going up, which is really nice. We still own all of the shares in our company. And that's a huge win for us right now. The thing that I want to focus on right now is the bread production. So let's take a look again at what these people want. I take that back, actually. We still need sausages, guys. Holy crap. Let's focus on sausage production. We've got 16 brick. We only need 5 brick to make a slaughterhouse. So let's figure out a place to put our pig farms, because this is super exciting. Pig farms, let's see here. This has an AoE of that, area of effect, for those of you that don't know what AoE is. And then we could probably start filling in this little space right here. We could even start filling in this little space. In fact, let's do this space here, because this space has a warehouse next to it, and we can make that work in our favor. So first off, let's drop a pig farm. That's going to be right there. And then we're going to go ahead and zoom right in very closely here. We're going to do that. And then let's take a look. We need, how many of these can we fit? 5. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and look at this again. We're going to drop, that's 2. We're going to do 3, 4. Oh, actually, let's go ahead and demolish these. Because again, we're looking at efficiency. How can we make this in a very efficient way? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look at that, guys. A perfect rectangle. That is what we like to see. So we're going to go ahead and highlight all of this. We're going to copy it. We're going to drop it here. Oops, let's zoom out a little and move our cursor. We're going to drop it here. We're going to drop another one here. Okay. And unfortunately, we can't really fit one there unless we do that. Okay. We got 1, 2, and then we can fit a 3rd. And again, it doesn't affect our area of effect for that lumber yard, so that's good. And then here, they're going to need access to this. So we're going to go ahead and expand this road. And yes, I know it's not perfectly lined up. I apologize for that. Okay. So now we've got pig production. So since we don't really need clay all that much right now, we're going to go ahead and replace that with the brick. And then we're going to move this and replace that with pig. So here we've got, now we can see all of our production of kind of our core things. So we've got timber, schnapps, clothing, and bricks. Pigs is, again, one of our raw materials, but we need to kind of monitor it right now because we just dropped these items. So it's important for us to monitor what we're doing when we're doing it. So in clicking into this first pig farm, you can see they have direct access to this warehouse. So that's great. These also have access to the warehouse. Again, really great. So again, something to think about as you continue to build. Make sure that they have access to certain warehouses. And looking at my chat, I can see James commented that we should name our islands Chris and Brian are cool. And then he also said that Oliver and James are hot. I don't know if we want to name the islands that. However, if there are other cool names that you guys want to see for the islands, let us know. Okay, so we've already got some pig going. So let's take a look at the slaughterhouse. So it takes 1 minute to create sausage, and it takes 1 minute for pigs to be produced. So that's, again, that 1-to-1 ratio. So that's a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and take these slaughterhouses. And again, there's no AoE that I need to worry about over here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these slaughterhouses right over here. And based on this, I think I can fit maybe 3 of them. So 1, 2, and 3. So it is a 1-to-1 scenario here. So let's throw another one on this side. So that's 4. We need 2 more. So we're going to go ahead and throw a couple more over here. 1 and 2. Because again, there's no AoE that we need to worry about. AoE, area of effect. So we've got 6 slaughterhouses and 6 pig farms. So that's definitely going to be a 1-to-1. However, worker shortage is a thing. So we're down 245 workers. That means we've got to expand, and we got to expand fast. So let's take a look at our current market. So the market, we may start to struggle as we expand. For example, here, they only have access to 50% of the market. That just means the AoE, the area of effect for the market, is only big enough to expand only so much before you have to drop a second market. So we're going to do that in just a minute. But for now, I'm going to focus on adding a few more houses, farmer houses, over on this area since we have the ability to do so. Brian, is there anything that you need from the main island?
No, I expanded my population.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
I'm just waiting on my lumber,
Okay.
my planks to kind of build up.
Aye. James, that is a very creative name for our islands. He said my island should just be named Chris and your island be named Brian. I think we can get way more creative than that, James. Use your imagination. It could be whatever you think is right. All right, guys. So a couple of things that we want to do here. So again, we want to expand, and the only way to expand is really to push our way into this area where our lumber production is. The only problem, obviously, is our lumber production needs to get moved. So let's look at another part of our island where we can have great lumber production. And one of the places that I'm thinking is way over here where our clay production is. Because again, remember, the jobs don't necessarily have to be close to the residence. They just have to exist, and they have to exist next to a warehouse. So let's go ahead and start moving some of that over. That way we can start expanding our roads and stuff and creating more housing for our population to grow. So we're going to go ahead and drop one right over, let's see here. Okay, that's one lumber yard. We're going to go ahead and take another one. And we're going to go ahead and drop that there. We're going to take a 4th. And we're going to go ahead and drop that there. Again, they're all going to be very close to each other, so that's a good thing. We're going to go ahead and take this lumber yard. And we're going to go ahead and drop that there. So again, all 100% efficiency, so that's great. And then I'm going to go ahead and start building roads to all of these various lumber yards, okay? All right. So now let's take a look. Do they have access? They do not have access to this warehouse. So instead of building a new warehouse, I'm going to move this warehouse. It's going to affect this lumberyard just a little bit, but it also gets all of these lumberyards in the vicinity, in the area of this warehouse. So that's important. That's super critical. Again, we didn't spend any additional money in creating a new warehouse. We also didn't waste lumber when we didn't really need to. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to move the sawmills. Okay, so there are 4 sawmills over here that we no longer need there because, again, they don't necessarily have to be close to any of the lumber yards. So we're going to move them and place them over here very close to where our warehouse is. Now that gives us the ability to move this warehouse and put it somewhere a little more efficiently. Let's look at this a little bit. So this is actually a warehouse that we don't really need right now. So let's go ahead and drop this warehouse where it's not going to have that big of an effect on our area of effect for lumber and stuff. Okay, so again, still have a worker shortage. So now we're going to focus on expanding that farmer residences. So that way we can convert some of these homes into worker homes. So first and foremost, let's drop another marketplace because, again, these residences want a marketplace. That's what they use to get food. And we already saw a little bit of a struggle earlier for some of these homes to have access to the marketplace. The other thing that we're struggling with is our fishing. So let's go ahead and drop another fishery. That way we can get a little more fish to supply our markets. All right, so here, guys, we run into a little bit of a snag. This last house is causing it so that we cannot connect a road. So I'm going to demolish that one house, and then I'm going to do this in order to connect the road. Yeah, it doesn't look clean, but right now we're just looking for actually expanding. So we can always put certain things there, like, you know, small trees or something else that will give kind of like some beautification to the city. We're also going to expand into this area up here. That way, again, as we continue to build and such, you know, we'll have the ability to do so with the amount of homes and workers and everything that comes in between. Again, not the prettiest thing in the world, guys. In fact, I can probably delete these roads and expand a little bit more for the homes. In fact, I'll do that. Ooh, and I wonder, guys, so let's go ahead and demolish all of this, including this road. Because I wonder if we can easily do something like that. Look at that. Again, guys, not the prettiest thing in the world, but you know what? It serves a purpose and it works. And who doesn't like grid maps, you know? Grid maps are amazing, right, Brian?
Mm-hmm. Big fan, big fan.
Fan of the show, fan of the show. I appreciate everybody that's watching. If you're watching and you like the gameplay so far, go ahead and comment that. Awesome. Thanks, Amel. We hope that this channel grows too. It's really fun. Appreciate that. And if you liked it, if you liked the stream, really appreciate that too.
Ooh.
Thanks, James. What?
I just did a quest, and now you have a miner.
What?
If you have a trade union near your mine, it will give you plus 20% productivity.
Oh, wow.
But you have to equip them.
All right, guys. So Our farmer situation is growing, so let's take a look at them. So they do have access to the marketplace, which is great. They do need more clothing, and we do need fish. So we are very critical with fish right now, and it's a little bit of a problem. Part of it is they don't have access to a road, surprisingly. So we're going to go ahead and give them access. That should increase our fish production here. But again, really great that that happened, because then it gave you an opportunity to see that, you know, and we corrected it right on the spot. So I'm going to go ahead and expand the little farmers residences into this area. So I will be right back. Brian, at 8 o'clock, I think we should switch to something else. That way we can play with the kiddos.
Yeah.
I am drinking. I'm saying it. All right, guys. So we are back, and what I've done now is I have expanded, obviously, the farm residences. I'm now going to go ahead and increase. Whoa! I'm going to go ahead and increase the number of worker homes that we've got. That way, we don't have any issues going forward. And part of that is obviously they need the fish production. That's the only way we can expand. So let's take a look. We currently have 0 fish in our warehouse, so that's a problem. Oh, shout out to a mill. You live in Spain. It is super late. It's 4:35 in the morning over there. Holy. Wow, that's super early in the morning, super late night. But we appreciate you watching the stream. Brian, say hi to Emil.
Hi, Emil. Emily.
Really cool name, by the way. I love it. Okay, I went ahead and added another fishery because I feel like we need to increase production of our fish farm relatively quick. The other thing is we can upgrade our trading posts. That is important. When we upgrade, we get more storage capacity as well as more loading ramps. It is important to have as many loading ramps as you can, because that's what's going to help kind of get things back and forth to your residence, as well as any of the production buildings that you have around you. Okay. So as we're increasing our fish production to hopefully facilitate an upgrade here with some of the farmer residences and get the worker shortage corrected, we're going to go ahead and start building. We're going to go ahead and build a trade union. And that trade union is going to go somewhere around here. So let's go ahead and unfortunately demolish a couple of these buildings and then go ahead and drop this trade union. Trade union is going to be really helpful, especially when we get when we have certain people. For example, let's see. So we have 2 people. We have a miner as well as a mate. The mate can actually be equipped on a ship. So we're going to go ahead and put the mate back on the ship. But the miner we can actually put in the trade union. And that's going to give us an AoE for that particular that particular trading post. Okay, so that affects all mines, and it gives you a plus 20% production on all of your mines. I think, Brian, that might be better for you since you have coal mines.
Well, use them for you just use them for now.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and drop this guy in the trading post, and you'll see him as a socket here, an item socket. So that's going to increase productivity by 20%. And then as time goes on, what we can do is add a trading post, a trade union somewhere else, like where we have actual mines. Currently, we don't really have mines. I mean, there's copper and there's iron, but once we actually get an iron mine, then we can put one of those trade posts next to it and increase production by 20%. So really cool, very useful to have, especially down the road. So a couple of things right now. Again, we need to upgrade our farmer houses, and part of that is that fish production. So you see that the bar is going up, which is really cool. But as soon as it actually hits the green, then we can go ahead and upgrade. Once we upgrade, we'll get the worker shortage corrected, and we'll get things kind of back on track. Good thing is we've got close to 1,000 additional farmer workers than we need. So that's going to be really good. Another thing to consider as you're continuing to expand, regular farmers, they don't actually produce in terms of income that much money compared to workers. Workers actually produce more money than farmers in terms of taxes. So it's really great to have additional workers to actually facilitate that tax growth.
We're positive though, we're making money.
We are making money. I'm very happy about that. All right, guys. So we'll be back when the fish situation gets corrected and we start to get a little bit more fishies. Okay. See you in a minute. I don't know why fish is like such a problem. Do we have another? Oh, we do have another shoreline.
Yeah, mine's like low but stable, so I don't really know if I should build. I have 2 right now.
Fisheries?
Uh-huh.
Nice. I think I'm gonna throw my fishery area somewhere else. Yes, I'm aware.
You don't need clothing, right?
No, I'm good with clothes.
What about schnapps?
No, I'm good with schnapps.
I'm gonna sell my excess.
All right, guys, we are back and a few changes. So I've moved a lot of the fishery over to another part of the island where I can sustain more of the production. So one of the benefits of having such a big island like this is there are many different beach areas where you could add certain things that are harbor based. So in this situation, I use this beach area for all of my fishing. And that way it will fulfill the need that it needs. And again, it just needs a warehouse. We don't have to put residents or anything around it. I will at some point probably throw some residents around here because we've got copper deposits as well as iron deposits here, which is really helpful. However, for now, this is just creating more efficiency because later down the road, we may want to expand and add certain things here since it is our main trading post. So because of that, we do have enough fish as well as market and clothing to upgrade some of our residences and fix this worker shortage. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to upgrade this neighborhood, and this neighborhood and see what that gives us. So we are now in the green in the green for workers. So we've got plus 53 workers. That's great. That means we won't have a shortage going forward as we continue to expand. So we've got, again, the pig farms here. We've got 21 pig and we've got slaughterhouses. So for slaughter, we've got sausages. So let's go ahead and change that sausage, change the pigs to sausage since that is what we're actually creating. And then we can actually, using pigs, this is where efficiency comes in again. Using pigs, we can create soap. So from the pig farm, we create rendering, which will then create soap. So let's go ahead. Again, it's a 1-to-1 ratio because it takes 1 minute to create rendering. We've got 6 pig farms. We should add a few more just so that we can do the rendering. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And that will add just another layer to what we already have. Okay. How's everything over there, B?
Good.
Why'd you scoff? I heard you go, ah.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh. It's true. For anybody in chat, what do you guys think so far? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? At one point, I think I had like 5 concurrent ones.
Nice.
Currently, I have 2. All right.
The only thing kind of holding me back is my lumber.
Oh.
Or my planks.
I've got plenty if you want.
Well, no, I'm producing, but it's like whenever I like build something, then it like I just need to find the balance of when I.
Oh shit! I need steel. Oh man, are you creating steel at all?
No.
Charcoal. How do you? Oh, charcoal we can just make out of wood, right?
Yes, but you need to put it. I think you need to keep it away from your city, so there's no like.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, we are back. So a couple of updates here. So I added 6 more pig farms because that's obviously we can use them. Ooh, pause. Here we go. Another newspaper, guys. Hopefully this is all good news and not just talking about the worker shortage. How many of you think that this is going to be about the worker shortage? Comment below, hit a like, because I think it's going to be worker shortage related. And lo and behold, it is not. I lose. Anyways, mission successful. The Thespians is a good Samaritan offering help to those in need. Recent success of trial public responsibility proves our esteemed leader, oh boy, Brian, pronounce this word for me. EQUAN IMITY. Equanimity.
Sure. That sounds right.
Equanimity. In the face of adversity. For anybody that knows that word, dude, like seriously, comment what that shit is defined as, because holy crap, that's a big college word. Anyways, city becomes uglier. You know what? You're ugly, bro. And then the promised land. So again, so let's start from the beginning. Mission successful, increases +5 happiness. Yay. However, city becomes uglier, takes -5 happiness. So it's a net 0. Promised land. Okay, so we are opening the doors. We're revealing shimmering utopia. Of course we live here. No one expects that. Boom, good growth. -50 rebellion. So I think that while the city becomes uglier is not so good of a headline, I also think that this is an okay thing to publish. Again, it is a net 0 happiness or sadness, so I'm okay with that. And then as far as reducing the rebellion, again, I'm good with that. Let's do it. I'm going to say go ahead and publish it. Brian, do you have any comments about it?
No.
Bet. Published. Let's go. So recent development, in order to make these rendering works, we're required to have steel. So in order to get steel, we need to do coal, charcoal, and a furnace in order to create steel works. Ooh, offers you a puzzle quest. Why, sure, why not? Find a black bear and find a wolf. Oh boy. That's going to be interesting.
Are you doing that?
I think that's... Oh, that is like way...
Snail like all the way, yeah.
Whoa. Well, we've got time. I'm not going to do that right now, but we will get to it. Anyways, so for now, guys, let's focus on the steel beams that we need in order to create this. So as you guys know, we have an iron deposit up here. So for iron... Again, remember, let's hark back to that trading post because we've got this guy who will increase mine production. So we want to definitely leverage this guy. So let's go ahead and build a road out to that. So let's drop the mine down. And then let's go ahead and get a road that goes all the way to this mine. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Next to that, we're going to go ahead and put a charcoal, a charcoal kindling. And they're gonna use trees for that. Again, let's drop a road connecting that. Boom. We're gonna need a warehouse right next to it. Okay, we'll put it right next to both. And now that we've got that, we can go ahead and put a furnace down. Again, you want furnaces to be far away from your residence. You want all of this kind of steel production to be far away from the residence because it is going to be pollution, pollution, pollution. And how many of us like pollution? Nobody. Is it necessary? Sometimes. So here, kindling takes 31 seconds to produce, okay? Odd number, but whatever. Here, iron takes 15 seconds. So that's 2 iron, 1 kindling. And here it requires for the furnace 31 seconds, but the furnace requires both iron and kindling. Okay. And then finally, we've got the actual steel production, steelworks. Okay. So for that, we're going to drop this down and it takes over a minute to create steel. Obviously we need some stuff to happen first, so let's do that. All right, so we can see now that production has started for the furnace. However, we are now officially missing workers again. So let's go back to our town area and let's create some workers. So we're going to go ahead and click the U and that'll give us the upgrade menu. And we're going to go ahead and highlight several little communities to upgrade. There's no real science to it. We just arbitrarily pick and choose what we're going to upgrade. A lot of the times I like upgrading things along the coastline because obviously it looks pretty in terms of beautification. So I do like keeping that consistent. So here we've upgraded enough. We've got plus 35 workers. Let's do one more little community, one more block of workers. And then we can move over back to our workers, our iron worker. So here we've got everything very close by, super easy, super fun. And we're now producing steel. So I don't have to worry about sausages right now. Let's actually go to the steel beams because that is the next big project here. Okay. So in order to build our rendering works, we need steel. So that's going to come in handy and become very useful. All right, guys. And with that, I'm going to call it a day for Anno 1800. If you want to continue to see more of this build and see how far we get, again, we haven't really discovered the map. We still have a quest that we need to do in the next 25 minutes, game time, and Brian has started a new island. We've got Bente, who is very close to us. Maybe we can look and see what she's offering for trade, or maybe we can trade with her. We also have a lot of the shipyard to build. We've got sails to do. We've got bread to create. We've got a ton of stuff that needs to get done. So if you want to see this continue, please make sure to hit the like button, comment below that you want to see more of this, and don't forget to subscribe, guys, because we really love playing these kind of games. But in order to play these kind of games, we want to make sure that you are enjoying it as well. If you don't enjoy it, we'll know by the amount of likes and by the amount of views that we see. So with that, I'm going to call it a day. Brian, anything to add to that?
See you next time.
Awesome. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Catch you later. Have fun. Be safe. We love you guys. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. All right. Bye, guys.